Here, and it's time again for tea and tutus. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Well, it's been a couple weeks. I have decided to shift things a bit over here with the tea and tutus segment. I'm now going to be posting every 2 weeks instead of every week. That way I can focus on better content for the episodes, focus on like zoning in actual like questions and things to ask my guests when they come on, more projects to show and plan. So yeah, every 2 weeks instead of every week, but thank you everyone for still staying on. I didn't necessarily lose any subscribers, so that's a good thing. But today I'm going to be talking about cosplay transition reels. As you can see, I'm still in my Nico Robin cosplay from a bit earlier. I even have the rose petals out. And I'm going to talk about cosplay collabs. So yes, let's just get right into it. Storage is low. I know my storage is low. I'm not saving this to the phone. This goes up to the online place and then that's it. Sorry about that. So yeah, cosplay transition reels. This is my 4th or 5th one now that I've been doing. Actually getting a hold or getting the hang of the transition part has been a bit of a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. The last one that I posted just a week ago or a couple weeks ago was Krista from Fern Gully, and I used flowers to cover the camera, but I still wasn't getting a little bit better, but I think I definitely feel that this time around I did a lot better with the actual transition part. So very excited for that. That's already up on Instagram. It will be followed by this video, and then when I get into it later, I'll be posting the collab I'm part of. But as far as transition reels go, I genuinely thought that some people put on makeup and got into full cosplay and only filmed one reel, but that's definitely not the case. People probably most likely put on one cosplay or 2 or 3 cosplays and film several different reels for several different types of content to post and plan out and schedule out, because getting into a cosplay for just one thing seems a bit ridiculous and a bit silly. It also depends on the cosplay. Thankfully this one was relatively more casual. I say casual. It is also screen accurate, and if you know anything about One Piece or most animes, what is happening with these things in this way? I've been messing with it too much. That's what happened. But you know, most dresses and skirts and things are very short, especially with when you're tall, like myself. And Nico Robin is actually taller than me in the One Piece universe by about a couple inches, 2 or 3 inches, which I find hilarious. So just figuring out what you're gonna wear, what you're gonna do. If you want to put on a lot of makeup, make sure you get your wig prepped. Filming, choosing the right music, choosing if you want to dance or choreograph anything. A lot of things can go into a cosplay transition reel. I try to keep things simple and obviously stick with songs that I know or know the words to. That can also be tricky if you are planning on singing along. Sometimes you singing along with the music won't match up with the video, if that makes sense, because of how you transition it well and whatnot. So that can be a bit tricky. So a lot of the times I will sing I will mouth the words of the song in the first half of the transition reel, but then I don't in the second half, because I have learned that sometimes it just doesn't match up. And that's really fun to find out when you're trying to edit things. However, this only did get done, this time this reel got done in 2 takes, I believe. So I feel pretty good about that. I'm also getting better at the takes, at least the pre-transition part. But then you have to put on the cosplay and make sure everything moves over smoothly. So my phone keeps yelling at me saying storage is low. So if this video is not 10 minutes long, then that is why. Hopefully we won't run out of time. We shouldn't. I'm hitting about that halfway mark, which is a perfect time to switch over to the cosplay collab portion of today's video. So cosplay collabs are something that people will put together on Instagram, where they will get a fandom together, a theme, what have you, and everyone submits a photo or 2 for that theme. Sometimes they allow duplicates, most of the time they don't. The very first time I did any sort of collab with that was actually makeup collabs during COVID, back in 2020 and 2021. But then as I got on Instagram more and like more involved in like groups and whatnot, I started participating in cosplay collabs. The first one I did was for a project, oh, what is her name? Afro Cocoa Puffs. She's a fantastic cosplayer that I follow online. She made her own song and music video called Cat Heels On, and asked for people to send in different types of like cats, like specifically like makeup looks. And so I did like a galaxy space cat for that one. And then around Christmas time, I did a collab with One Piece for Christmas themed One Piece stuff. I did my Boa Hancock, which is very similar to the Robin wig. It was actually fun trying to distinguish whether or not this was Boa or Robin because the wigs are very similar, although Boa's hair is a bit longer in the back than Miss Robin here. I'm in, what other collabs am I in? I'm in a birthday collab for a cosplayer that I follow, and that one's due in July. I'm going to be doing Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle for that one. I think we're also doing a video as well where you pass the object across the screen, and it's a big collab. That's what I did for the One Piece collab as well for the Christmas. We did like pass the present Christmas item. So we're doing that for the birthday. And then the one that's about to be posted, which will be here in the next couple of days, is an anime weapons collab. So specifically anime characters that have like really cool weapons, or that's the main thing about them. So for that one, I decided to have some fun, and I brought back my Death the Kid cosplay from Soul Eater. I've got a femme version of that. And that was fun to take photos of and send in. Fun fact about that one, I hand painted the wig. When I first got it and decided to do it as a cosplay, I kept on looking for ways to like make a stencil for the 3 lines so I could get them, you know, correct, because Death Kid is crazy about that symmetry. So every tutorial and every video I watched said to use either Scotch tape or masking tape and to make your own little, you know, stencil on the wig and to line it up. Fun fact, both of those things do not stick to wigs. I don't know what type of tape they were using in the videos, because obviously it wasn't those two, even though they claimed it was. It wasn't working for me. I couldn't get anything to stick to the top of that wig. So I hand painted it, just the 3 lines with acrylic paint, and it probably needs a touch up since the wig is quite a few years old now. But I did a really good job, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. So keep an eye out for that Anime Weapons collab on Instagram. I also have 2 shoots booked coming up. I will be shooting Snow White and the wedding dress for a magazine submission for Cosplay Glade magazine that I've been featured in twice now. That is for their Obscure Fandoms issue coming out in July. So I would say Once Upon a Time is a pretty obscure fandom, at least right now, since it's a 14, 15-year-old show now. How old is that show? How old am I? Yeesh. Anyway, and then the other photo shoot, I am finally going to be shooting Nami in her Zoe outfit. Can't wait to do that, because the only photos I have of that outfit is from the One Piece meetup at Holiday Matsuri last year. So very excited, lots going on, lots of content to post. Just put up the transition video. I've got more stuff coming for Tea and Tutus. I'm finally hopefully going to secure a live in-person guest here soon. I'm talking to a few more people about that. I'm also opening up my signups for online guests as well. If you would like to join me here live on YouTube, just let me know in the comments or over on Instagram. Aside from that, there's not really much else going on. My convention plans don't really have a startup or get-go until August, really, and that's for Colorado Springs Comic Con. As far as the summer goes, right now I'm only paying attention to events that the rest of the Straw Hats are going to be at, that I'm trying to meet. I still have 2 left, Frankie and Chopper, so Patrick Seitz and Brina Palencia. So if you know of any events they're going to, let me know, because I'm trying to meet them, and then I have the whole crew. Dang, I'm good. All right, that's gonna put us at the 10-minute mark, just about. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my random talks on cosplay transition reels and cosplay collabs, and I will see everybody here in the next 2 weeks.